Hi guys, welcome back. Today I have another dupe comparison video, which I'm so excited for because let me just say I love to splurge on high-end makeup, but I also love me a good dupe, especially when the high-end makeup is like super expensive. So today we are going to be comparing Tarte Shape Tape versus the new e.l.f. 16-Hour Wear Camo Concealer. I just ordered this last week on e.l.f.'s website, so I'm not sure if this is available in stores yet. If I find out any details, I will pin a comment and let you guys know down below. And it's so funny because the very next day they sent it to me in PR, which I'm so grateful for. I'm going to be including the extra shades that I got in PR in a giveaway for an upcoming makeup artist because I have so much makeup, and specifically lots of concealers, powders, and foundations to give away. So be on the lookout for that because I really want one of you guys to be able to expand your kit with those products. So stay tuned for that giveaway. But yeah, today we are going to be doing a wear test and seeing how everything looks throughout the day side by side. I already have my foundation on, I have my lashes and brows on, so I will leave those details also down below. Anyways, that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. As always, don't forget to grab a snack and let's get started. Okay, so side by side you can see that the e.l.f. concealer looks very similar to Tarte Shape Tape. Oh my gosh, what a tongue twister. But yeah, the Tarte Shape Tape is like slightly taller, but like just by a smidge, but it looks very, very similar. And these are the wands side by side. You can see that they are also very, very similar. I love the big doe foot applicator. It is probably one of my favorite things about Tarte Shape Tape, so I'm excited that e.l.f. has one as well. So I put the brightness as low as possible. I don't want to make it too dark, but I want you guys to be able to see my skin and my under eyes and everything. So I'm going to start off with Tarte Shape Tape. I am in the shade light medium, and I'm going to be applying this on my left side, which is going to be your right. So the way that I like to apply the concealer, I used to do huge triangles underneath my eyes, but I found that just to be pretty wasteful. I just don't need that much concealer. So I usually like to just take some right down the side, down the bridge of my nose, above my lip, the edges of my mouth, my chin, and my forehead. That is how I like to apply my concealer, which is still a lot. I know some people are probably still cringing watching this, but that's just what works for me. And I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, which is one of my favorite sponges at the drugstore. And I'm going to just blend that out. You know what? I should have used this sponge on the e.l.f. side, but that's okay. This concealer is full coverage, very blendable. It's not drying on my skin, and I have combo skin, but my under eyes are pretty normal. They're not excessively dry, they're not excessively oily, they're just normal. So I just spot cleaned my beauty sponge, so I'm gonna use the same exact sponge on this side. And in the e.l.f. concealer, you know what, let's do some claims. Actually, let me apply it and then I'll do claims. Okay, I'm just getting so excited. I'm gonna go in with the shade Medium Beige, which I don't know if this is gonna match me, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, I think this is gonna match. Right off the bat, the smell and the consistency feels like the Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm going to do the same exact thing. Ooh, it's very creamy. I'm going to blend out the inner corners with a brush, so don't worry. Wow, this blends in really, really nicely. The colors are obviously not going to be identical, like side by side, but I feel like that shade Medium Beige is good from the e.l.f. concealer. Okay, so what I like to do with small areas like this on my face, the sponge is a little bit too big, so I like to just use a brush to blend it out. And my favorite brush is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. I have like so many of these in my collection. It's such a great brush. It gets right in the inner corners, and it literally is what it says. It's a flawless concealer brush. It just blends everything flawlessly, seamlessly into the skin, and I love it. I don't really know if I see a difference, to be honest. Like side by side with both of the concealers, I mean, minus the shade might be a little different. And you can see the Tarte Shape Tape is creasing on me a little bit, so I'm gonna just blend out that crease using another e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. This brush has a different handle because I got this specifically in a brush kit, but if you buy this brush just on its own, it comes with the black handle, so just a little FYI. I think I want to do a little bit more concealer. Let's just go with it. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the e.l.f. one, and when I say little bit, I mean just a little dot and then a little bit more of Tarte Shape Tape. So this concealer here is a little bit more on the peachy side, whereas Tarte Shape Tape is a little bit more neutral, but that's okay. So this is what the concealers look like side by side. I honestly don't see a huge difference. I feel like the e.l.f. concealer consistency is very similar to Tarte Shape Tape. It has like that creamy, thick formula, but it's not overly thick or cakey. It doesn't feel like it, at least so far. And it doesn't feel drying, and I love how easy it blended into my skin with a sponge and with that little brush that I used. So I do really like that aspect of it. There is a little bit of creasing, but I always get creasing with all of my concealers. I have really, really bad fine lines underneath my eyes. Like no matter what eye cream, no matter what I do, that's just how my under eye area is for me. So what I like to do before I set my under eyes, I like to let my concealer sit for probably like at least 2 to 3 minutes, just because I like to blend out the creases before I go in and set. So usually at this time I'll use the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, and I'll just take this, kind of look up a little bit, and just run the brush right underneath of those little creases to kind of just blend them out. That way when you go in and set, you're not setting your creases. To set my makeup, I'm going to use my favorite translucent powder. This is the Collab Set the Stage Ultra Fine Loose Setting Powder. If you guys have been with me for a while, you already know this is my favorite. This is my holy grail powder, so of course I have to use something that I know and like my holy grail with this concealer so that I really can put it to the test. I'm going to just dip my sponge into the cap and set the area. I'm going to use this to set the rest of my face, not just where I applied the concealer, but just like the entire rest of my face. And if you do not use a sponge to blend in your powder, you are missing out. It makes the biggest difference. It just looks so flawless and smooth and porcelain, not cakey. It's just amazing. So get this powder, get the sponge, thank me later. And this powder does not give white cast. It's just perfection. It's my favorite powder of all time. Like any drugstore powder, any high-end powder that I've tried, this is it for me. Cool. So then on the other side, I'm gonna use the same sponge. Just gonna use the other side of the sponge. So I think it's looking pretty good, at least in my end. I mean, it doesn't obviously look totally smooth and flawless because my under eyes just aren't like that. I mean, I'm human, it happens. Okay, so I don't have any major issues right now. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this foundation off my lips because that's not cute. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and then I'll be right back and we'll see how it looks. But so far, I'm happy. Alright guys, so this is a completed makeup look. As I mentioned, I will leave the details down below if you're interested. So this is what the concealer looks like right now after it's settled into my skin for a few minutes. In total, like my concealer so far, I've been wearing it for probably about 30 minutes, like if you count like when I first applied it and everything, and I really actually like the way that it looks. I mean, you guys are my ultimate critics, so let me know if you can tell a huge difference because I personally can't, other than the fact that obviously the shades are a little different. Like that's just, I feel like, gonna happen in general because they don't have the exact same shades as Tarte Shape Tape, but I really do like the way that the shade looks on me. I really also love how creamy it was. It was really easy to build up and to blend, and I like it. I mean, I obviously do have some creasing. My under eyes aren't super smooth, so that is bound to happen with any concealer or powder that I use, but I feel like it's not excessive. Obviously, we'll see how it wears throughout the rest of the day, but I really like it so far, and I feel like if I were to go and let's say call my friends on FaceTime right now, I don't think they can really tell that I'm wearing two different concealers. I'm happy with it. I mean, I think for $5 compared to $27, I think it's great so far, and I think the shades are really nice. I like how there's some variety. For it to be a drugstore concealer, I think it's really nice so far. Even if you have to mix two shades, it's still $10 versus $27, and it's still cheaper than a lot of other drugstore concealers right now on the market. So right now it is around 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna wear this throughout the rest of the day. I'm also gonna do a check-in later on for you guys in natural lighting so we can really see the makeup for what it is outside. That's always the ultimate test, so we'll see in a couple hours how that looks, but in general, I'm happy with it. So let me know what you guys think, but I'm gonna come back and I'll let you know how it's wearing. Hey guys, so I wanted to do another check-in. It is around 5 o'clock right now, so I've been wearing this makeup for a little over 6 hours at this point, if you count when I first applied the concealer. And this is what my under eyes are looking like. So I am well aware that my skin is not perfect, and when you zoom in on this vlogging camera of mine, you can really see my skin for what it is and the imperfections. If I don't zoom in, it looks like totally airbrushed, but my skin does not look like that in real life, as you can tell. Even though you can see like it might look a little dry and crepey, it's not as bad as other things that I've tried. And for me, my under eyes are probably one of my least favorite things about my appearance, minus my teeth, because that always happens. Like no matter what concealer, no matter what powder I use, I always get those tiny creases. But there are some products that will emphasize that area a little bit more. And for me today, I don't think the e.l.f. one did that for me. I feel like it looks just like the Tarte one. So even though the under eye doesn't look totally smooth, like I said, regardless of what I do, it's never going to look smooth, but it doesn't feel dry. It doesn't feel cakey. It feels very comfortable and still really soft under here. Even though I did layer this concealer and I did apply lots of powder, it still feels really good and it's intact and it hasn't faded. I have not touched up my makeup like at all today. The only thing that I touched up is my lip color. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I will do another check-in with you guys a little bit later on with my DSLR camera, but I wanted to show you guys how it looks in natural daylight outside on my vlogging camera. So yeah, so far I'm happy with it. Hey guys, I'm back. I decided to leave my little sweatshirt on because I'm pretty cold right now, even though this isn't even warm inside, but I want to believe that it's keeping me warm. Anyways, I got this at TJ Maxx, by the way. So this is what my concealer is looking like right now. So I haven't touched up since my last check-in, which was on my vlogging camera. I just wanted to show you guys again how it looks after a few hours here on my DSLR, which is much better quality than the vlogging camera. I honestly really love this concealer from e.l.f. I don't have any complaints. I think I still need to really work on like my perfect shade. I do feel like the Tarte one is slightly brighter versus the e.l.f. one, but it's really not a huge deal, I guess, if you're really looking at me. But just in general, I don't mind it. I think the formula is really nice. I love how creamy it was. I like how it doesn't feel drying underneath my eyes, and I feel like the lasting power of it is really nice so far. For me, at least, it didn't crease anymore versus when I first applied it, so yeah, I mean, times like this, I will be honest with you, I wish I had some under eye filler. If any of you guys have gotten that, please let me know. I know that a lot of people always criticize YouTubers and just people in general for getting work done. That's probably the only work that I would ever get done to my face is under eye filler, just because my under eyes are so creasy, like no matter what I do. So if any of you guys have any recommendations or anything or whatever, please let me know. I'm not gonna get my lips done or anything, but the under eyes are one thing where I would love to get that done. I'm just so scared to get anything done to my face, but this is why. But regardless, I really do like the way that it looks. I feel like the e.l.f. concealer is definitely a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. Let me know what you guys think, but I'm all for it, especially for the fact that it's only $5. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about the claims of the concealer. I realized that I never even talked about them earlier. Let me talk about them really quick. I'll be back. So it says it's 16-hour coverage. I never wear my makeup for that long, to be honest with you, on a regular day. It says the intense pigmentation is full coverage but won't settle into fine lines, courtesy of its oil balancing formula that leaves behind a matte finish. I feel like the finish is definitely a natural matte finish. It's not excessively dry or anything. Obviously, it did settle into my fine lines, but it's not excessive and it's not drying. So it's a really nice, comfortable matte formula. I do agree with that claim. And it says basically that the large doe foot applicator will give you like that maximum coverage, which I do feel like the coverage was really nice. And I just love how it blended into my skin really easily. So the claims are good. I do agree with them. And for a $5 concealer, I'm all for it. So let me know what you guys think. Are you going to be purchasing this concealer? What are your thoughts? How do you think that it looks on my under eyes? Do you have any tips? Have any of you gotten under eye filler? Please let me know down below. Also, I want to say thank you so much for 500,000 subscribers. I'm just speechless. I can't believe that this is my life. I can't believe that people out there, you guys, are watching my videos. Like, it blows my mind, but I'm so grateful. Like, you have no idea. So giveaways are coming very soon, so stay tuned. Please subscribe if you have not already so you can join our little family over here. Anyways, thank you guys for everything, and I will see you in a few days in my next video. Bye.